So this video is going to help you to fill out your notes on political machines and settlement houses. During the Gilded Age, these two institutions, settlement houses and political machines, were very different systems, but they had one thing in common. They both provided help to immigrants. As more and more people arrived in America, they needed help to find jobs, to find housing, to be able to afford food, etc. So these two groups helped immigrants in very different ways. Political machines gave food and housing to immigrants. They also helped immigrants find jobs, and they paid for things like funerals and weddings. However, political machines always expected something in return. So when it came time for elections, political machines made sure that the immigrants that they had once helped voted and repaid the favors that the political machines did for them. Settlement houses, on the other hand, provided help to immigrants without expecting anything in return. So they would do things like provide daycare. A lot of immigrants worked during most hours of the day, and settlement houses would take care of children. Settlement houses also gave English lessons to immigrants. They created a sense of community, and they helped immigrants to find jobs. So we're mostly going to focus on political machines in this video. You'll learn more about settlement houses in the next station with Jane Addams. So political machines were organizations that were linked to political parties. The head of a political machine was called the political boss. These were not actual machines, but groups of people that worked. They're considered machines, or they were called that, because each person in the political machine had a specific job to do. And a lot of the time, there were many people doing different jobs around the cities. The political boss controlled jobs and services and were the closest link to local government. These machines would make money by taking bribes, campaign contributions, and kickbacks from businesses and factories. So here's a political cartoon from the time period showing the most famous political boss, William Boss Tweed. He ran the political machine Tammany Hall in New York. So we can see the thumb of Boss Tweed controlling the city of New York. And underneath it says, the boss, well, what are you going to do about it? Meaning that Boss Tweed had so much power, no one else really had anything, couldn't really do anything to help. The most famous political boss, like I said, was New York's William Boss Tweed, and his officials were known as the Tweed Ring. So here you can see a political cartoon of everyone in the ring pointing to the final person, the largest, most powerful person, which was Boss Tweed. These men would do things for Tweed like helping immigrants, but also making sure that those immigrants would pay back in some way, usually with votes. Newspapers played a big role in exposing Boss Tweed. Newspapers can encourage democracy even to this day by using free speech and encouraging the public to stay informed. Through cartoons and newspapers, a man named Thomas Nast drew political cartoons to expose Boss Tweed. So here we see a self-portrait of Thomas Nast. Boss Tweed was well aware of what Thomas Nast would draw, and he's well known for having said, "My constituents or voters don't know how to read, but they can't help seeing them darn pictures." So here we have another political cartoon drawn by Thomas Nast. It's also on the back of your sheet of paper. This is supposed to show Boss Tweed standing by a ballot box. If you flip to the back of your paper, you can read the passage and study the political cartoon in order to answer your questions.